Since we released one of our most watched videos showing people how they can start a podcast using the Anchor app, we have gotten a ton of questions from podcasters about how they can start making money with their podcast.
Yes, and we haven't had an easy answer to that until now. It's
here!
Spotify has launched its podcast subscriptions feature for those of us in the US, and it's going to open that up internationally after September 15th.
So now listeners can support podcast creators by simply clicking a link on Spotify. Once listeners unlock their subscription, they'll be able to access bonus episodes that podcasters create.
So in this video, we're going to answer all of the questions you might have about the Spotify subscriptions and get you set up so that you can start making money with your podcast.
So, are you ready?
I am.
Let's make some cash with our content. So here at the Pod Sound School, we're very excited about this feature, especially for those of you who relentlessly have been working so hard, publishing episodes week by week and putting in the hard work.
Yeah, we understand that it's a labor of love and a true act of service that you do for your listeners. And it's time that you start being compensated for all of your hard work and dedication.
Also, chances are that your listeners want to support you and they want to show their love and commitment with your show. So this feature makes it very easy for them to do so.
Spotify announced in April that it was going to launch its subscription program, but only now is it available in the US and soon to be available internationally. And it's really awesome.
And I know you may have a lot of questions. You may be wondering if you're eligible, how it works, and don't worry, we have all the answers for you.
And at the end of the video, Veronica is going to walk us step by step how easy it is to set up your podcast for subscription.
No, you do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I am not good for the voiceover, pendejada.
I'm going to tell you to do the voiceover. Ay,
no.
pues. But let's get to answering your questions. And also, you can hover over the progress bar at the bottom of this video where we have timestamps of each of the questions. You'll also find that in the description box below this video, so you can just skip ahead to a certain question you may have.
So question number 1, how is Spotify subscriptions different from Apple Podcast subscriptions?
Okay, well, the pro of Apple versus Spotify is on Apple, there's actually just a button that will subscribe them to it right there. On Spotify, they have to click on a link, which brings them to your Anchor page where they can subscribe there. Really, though, it's still very easy, especially if you compare it to like Patreon and things like that, how easy it is to get your subscriber to become a subscriber right on their phone. They can pay with Google Pay or type in a credit card number right on their phone. Many people have their credit card numbers saved to their phone. So really, that's not that much different. Now, where I think Apple isn't as good as Spotify is Apple takes 30% right off the bat of all of your earnings, which is pretty steep. Spotify doesn't take anything for the first couple of years. Also, Spotify provides a private RSS feed for the podcast creators, which is something Apple doesn't do.
Wait a minute, Studio Steve, what's an Apple RSS feed? Wait a minute, Studio Steve, what's a private RSS feed? But wait a minute, Studio Steve, what's a private RSS feed? I don't know how to be natural. Like,
Just,
I don't know what you're
just be
asking
yourself.
from me.
Just say, wait a minute.
Okay.
What's a private
Okay.
Wait, and you don't even have to say
No,
Studio
you just
Steve.
want me to use your tone. That's
No,
all you say?
No,
Okay.
use your tone.
Wait a minute. What's a private RSS feed?
A private RSS feed is just a private link that you can share with your listeners. They can copy and paste that in any podcast platform like Apple. You may be familiar with this if you're already using a crowdfunding source like Patreon, and it can be a little bit of explaining as far as getting your listeners to know how to copy and paste that, but it's what has been being done thus far, and it's really cool because with Spotify now, people can support you, but they can still continue to listen on Apple Podcasts or Overcast or Castbox or anywhere they listen to their podcasts on their app of choice. And the last thing that I think is the biggest difference between Spotify and Apple subscriptions is that Spotify is going to provide information about the listener or the subscriber, and that's something that Apple doesn't do.
And that was kind of a bummer because when somebody is supporting our shows, we want to have that contact with that person. We want to send an email saying thank you. We want to include them in the different events and things that we do for our podcast, and that wasn't a possibility with Apple.
Yeah, so there was no like continual marketing that you can do or nourishing the relationship, or even knowing who the person is. So that's a really cool thing that Spotify does.
Now, it may be good for people who like the anonymity.
Or to be
Yeah,
voyeuristic.
people who like the anonymity and they want to support you, but they don't want you to know who they are. That can be a good thing.
And that's still an option with Spotify, though. So with Spotify, they don't have to provide their email address.
Oh,
but
okay.
if they decide to provide their email address because they love you, then you can invite them to events. This is all things you can say in your episode content or in the notes. Like, you can even leave a message when you set up your account for subscriptions on Spotify. You could leave a message and say, if you would like to receive invites to our special events, or if you want to be invited into our inner circle, make sure that you give us your email address right there. So there's just a lot more great feature, yeah.
Question number 2, do I need a certain amount of downloads or an audience size? And the answer is no, the feature is available for all creators, no matter the size of their audience. Question number 3, can I set up and manage my podcast subscriptions using the Anchor mobile app? And the answer to this question is no, you will need a web browser to log into your account and set up podcast subscriptions. However, if you don't have access to a computer, you can use a web browser on your phone.
And question number 4 is, can I use my music and talk episodes or my M&T episodes on Spotify as bonus content for my listeners? The answer to that is no. Maybe you don't know what an M&T or a music and talk episode is. Veronica did a really cool video about it that you can check out right here, all about how you can make a music and talk podcast on Spotify, but you can't use those as bonus episodes. And a 5th question is, can I also have listener support enabled? And listener support, if you're unfamiliar with that, is something you can enable on your Anchor account or on your podcast, which allows people to give you a little tip or a propina for your hard work. But you can't have both of them, at least currently, enabled at the same time.
And question number 6, can I use this tool if I'm not hosting my podcast on Anchor? And the answer is no, this feature is only available for those who host their podcast on Anchor. And if this feature is making you like Anchor even more and you're considering migrating your podcast from your current podcast host to Anchor, stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to our channel because we'll be releasing videos about how to migrate your podcast.
And question number 7, are there any fees? So currently and for now, Spotify doesn't take any fees. There are, however, transactional fees and taxes.
And question number 8, how does it look from the listener's perspective? Well, let me show you. And question number 9, how do I get people to subscribe? And the answer to this is your content. It all comes down to the quality of your content and how you get creative to incentivize people to subscribe to your paid content.
Yes, I love that. We're always looking for ways to improve our shows, but specifically to answer this question is practical things you want to make sure to do to facilitate that, making that subscription process easier. Like including the link that Spotify gives you in your episode, in every single episode's description, even the free episodes, and talking about it in the content, like Veronica was saying, of your show. So actually inside your podcast when you're talking, write it into your script. I also offer, bonus episodes. And then finally getting really creative about different types of content you could make. But the other thing to think about here is to check in with your workload and to be cautious about offering something that you don't actually have the time to deliver on.
Yes.
Because once people start giving you money every month,
It's a commitment.
So
a commitment.
A very easy thing to do, a good idea to get started with, would be to have just like raw, unedited episodes or Q&As or something that doesn't take you a lot of time, less preparation time than maybe a real podcast episode, and no editing time.
Yeah.
So that's something you can pump out on a regular basis that your super fans would really enjoy.
Yeah, something that is easy for you to produce. Also, make sure that you're clear with what you're offering so people know what they're subscribing to. Don't promise the sun and the moon and then deliver only the clouds.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a saying.
It is now. That was incredible.
And question number 10, is it easy to set up? Yes, it's pretty easy.
Really
And
easy.
as we promised at the beginning of the video, we're going to show you how you can set it up today.
And that's it, Podski. If we didn't answer your question, leave it here as a comment right where you're watching this video and we'll get back to you.
Also, make sure you say hi on social media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pod Sound School. And before you go, 2 things. No olviden hacer la tarea and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.
Happy casting,
amigos!